Hello, YouTube. Okay, today we've got gacha revenue. The main one I want to talk about is Zenless. Zenless did fall, right? We saw July have a $99 million drop for this goddamn game, okay? Obviously, that's when it came out. It came out July 4th. So 100 mil gross on your first month, and it is 33% of what it used to be. That is kind of crazy. Obviously, yeah, it didn't exist prior in June or July, but listen, it's still very popular, and I kind of do believe that it's going to maintain a 30 million mark for the next, like, 3 to 4 patches, right? Because this is already telling people, after a full month of playing, there is still enough interest to generate enough revenue that competes with your regulars, like Genshin Impact, which just had 5.0 release. And obviously Honkai Star Rail, which is the GOAT, right? I think Honkai Star Rail is just the embodiment of the best gacha game that we've had to date. But when you look at the numbers that Natlan is throwing up, is it not the most numbers they've ever had for any 0.0 release? Like, that's the way I'm kind of wanting to look at it. Let's just take a quick look, okay? Let me bring up Genshin Impact's YouTube page. It feels really low. Happened to AFK Journey to gain 6-7 million? I have no idea, but hey, that game is really popular in the West, and yeah, people just like to collect things and not worry about it, so. September revenue will be very interesting for Genshin. I entirely agree. When did Natlan release? Like a week ago? Yeah. And like the first 48 hours, like the biggest hours for a new release, okay? So let's go 2.0, just out of curiosity, right? 2.0, 17 million views, okay? 3.0, 6 million. Holy fall off. Wait, maybe I'm entirely wrong here. 4.0, 4.7. Oh, wait, we actually are really withering out. Wait, we actually are really withering down. Hold on. Oh, wow, no, actually, hold on. Wait, we really are on a downward trajectory. That's surprising. Maybe Genshin is hitting that point in its life, much like World of Warcraft, you know?
Also, for people thinking Woo Woo is dead, I'm pretty sure this trailer gained more traction than King I's song. You have no idea how many people share that sentiment.
Dude, I think the Woo Woo is dead people are the same people who are doing the fucking boycott, and they're still gambling. So, like, yeah, no. Yeah, this is interesting, but here's the thing. I don't think it's a failure whatsoever. I think we're kind of at a situation where Genshin's hitting a stage in its life where it is so old that either people are too scared to go start it because the game is so fucking big, and only seasoned vets and people who play casually for so many years keep playing it, you know what I mean? World of Warcraft syndrome is kind of like that, where like starting WoW is a task right now, right? With how big the game is. But it still makes so much money and still brings in all the casual players every new drop that they don't need to worry about getting new players. Like, they're good, you know what I mean? And if we were to go down the list, there's I feel like a big one is Wuthering Waves. We just had, oh god, we just had Chun-Li. We just had Sheshi. Like, I know Sheshi isn't as hyped for some people as much as I think Sheshi is great, but 13 mil is kind of crazy. Like, it's getting beat out by One Piece Bounty Rush. I didn't even know that existed. So I don't think this is spelling any scary future. Jungle wasn't last month either. Oh, so it's only Sheshi. It was no boil over. Okay, I see. That makes more sense. But it's more just an indicator of the low point that we're at again, with the way Wuthering Waves was dealt with on release and the way they are pushing the game at a breakneck speed. They need to make lull points to get to the important things like the Shorekeeper, the Black Shores, the 2.0 map, all of that kind of stuff. So I'm not surprised that it's a little bit of a lull period in terms of like release. We didn't get a new area for 1.2 in the Sheshi release, so, you know, kind of expected. And other, like, you know, with those are kind of the big ones. On stage, we're kind of good. AFK Journey, I am surprised it made so much goddamn money. Dude, it did more than 10 times what it expected to do. Check Reverse? Oh, do I really want Check Reverse? All right, you know, I'll do it just for you. 3 mil? That's still goated. It's doing just worse than Guna Game Containment Zone. Snowbreak. Doing better than Battle Cats as well, which is good. That means you're still popping off. Are there any other big games that are just dying slowly? By the look of things, dude, Tower of Defense is still doing a mil a month. How the fuck is that happening? I am puzzled.
Make sure to include that this is mobile only, just because people get big-headed about it.
Yeah, that's a good point. So, yeah, for those who do not know, this is exclusively iOS and Android sales, or is it just Android sales? It's one of the two. Doesn't include PC sales. So there is a big population of players, e.g. myself, who were not included in the census of monthly expenditures. And I do get it. It's money versus money. It's who competes with who. But the reason this matters is to show how successful games are and how much they can really put into the game going forward, right? A game like Honkai Star Rail getting 40 million on average per month, and on big months getting up to 70, 80 million, is going to do a lot better and have a lot higher prospects for future patches than a game like ReZero Witch's Resurrection that gets 100k a month, which is a crazy amount of money for an anime tie-in gacha game, which is only in Japanese servers, but hey, pop off, I guess. It does matter for the aspect that we kind of get an idea of how things are going to be looking going forward. Zenless, I think, is fine. 30 million on Zuyuan, goated. Okay? I don't think it's a bad situation whatsoever. And with Jado coming out this week as well, I think September is also going to be a very solid month, probably 30 to 50 million as well. The game is nowhere near failing. That, like people always explained, or I say explained, but like they kind of just expected it to because they're haters and they want their game to succeed and they're going to be better than other games. Zenless ain't going nowhere. If anything, the real failure here is Genshin. I know that's crazy given their like position is like top 5, but you need to understand they just had 5.0 come out. They are the most expensive game of all time, surpassing GTA 6 in terms of money cost for how much it is in the development cycle of things and server maintenance and all that kind of stuff. And they only got 40 mil on their Natlan release. Now, I know those people who were like, oh my god, Boycott Hoyo versus working. It's not doing shit, okay? You guys are still playing the game. You just think if you don't pull, that matters. That's not how that system fucking works. I'm very surprised Fake Grand Order went crazy, but someone mentioned there was a, bikini event. So I'm not surprised the Goonas are going to get their way. As always, that is the quickest way to flip some cash. Just get your characters and make them skimpy. That's the play. Nikki had an Evangelion collab, and even then it only did like 16 mil, which is kind of surprising. Arknot's doing 20 mil is very surprising. That's insane. It's the fact it's doing that much more than Wuthering Waves, being a platformer, Bloons tower defense of a waifu simulator, is very good, and hopefully all this money goes towards making Arknight Zenfield actually entertaining, okay? Because it's at a little bit of a low point right now, at least from what it looked like at Gamescom and the betas that we got and all that kind of thing. But who knows? We're probably going to get a release date for Arknight Zenfield in like a few weeks anyway, even though it doesn't really relate to the direct Arknight itself whatsoever. But this is kind of going to be a good indicator to how much money Arknight Zenfield will make on release. I think when that game does come out, we might be looking at 50 to 70 million if the junior original version is getting 20. We got Hoko version people posting about their pulls and the funniest thing we've seen on Twitter. Oh yeah, dude, that's top tier content. Because they're free to play, so they're allowed to gamble. That's not how boycotts work. You guys are being idiots. But yeah, that's besides the point. TLDR, Wuthering Waves is going nowhere. Zenless Zone Zero is actually succeeding better than Genshin Impact is. Even though numbers say different, this isn't a 2.0 release for Zenless. This is a lull patch with a hot cop, right? Whereas Natlan came out, and this is the number that they get. That's very interesting. Like, if we were to go back to, let's use Honkai Star Rail as an example. If we go back to 2.0's original release, yeah, it's gonna be a lot different when you look at our GOAT Honkai Star Rail, right? Like, dude, what are we looking at? This was Pentacon released, no? April? I believe it was April. When did HSR 2.0 release? It was April, was it not? Oh no, it was February, wasn't it? So it was in February. So if we go to February, bruh, Pentacon released, broke 90 mil. Month after, 144th mil. This is the Acheron banner, from what I remember. But then when you go to Genshin, I thought, like, you know, maybe Milani isn't popular, but even if she isn't popular, this should be higher, right? Whales spend on big events. They just do. So I don't know what the situation is and what's going on over in Genshin. Maybe the game is finally on a decline after so many years, but it will never fail. $30 million, we'll never encounter that in our lifetimes, right? And that's a month of this game's income. So yeah, they're fine, right? They're fine. But for Genshin's scale of 60 million average players per month, this is shockingly low than what I expected it to be, right? There's the whole argument of, like, maybe people who play Genshin put money into Zenless, maybe they played Genshin, they put money into Honkai Star Rail, and Hoyo as a whole entire conglomerate is still making like 120 million a fucking month. But hey, man, we go to the release of this, when it was just this, it's like 90 million, and then you go down to Genshin, and it's 90 million again, it's 180 million there. So that's just when they had 2 games. I think that's a weird way to look at it, but a lot of people do like to argue the Hoyo net as opposed to the 3 games individually. But yeah, I think Genshin is surprising how low it is. I thought there'd be minimum 50 mil. But hey, maybe that's just me. Anyway, thank you for watching. I very much appreciate it. If, yeah, this video did help you in any way, shape, or form, gives you any idea of where your games are at, the ones you do like, the ones you don't like, all that kind of stuff, please feel free to like and subscribe and comment if I am smoking hopium that Genshin's on the downward trajectory, or if I am just, you know, spitting nothing but facts, or if you have a whole different opinion entirely. That is perfectly fine, and I appreciate you for getting this far in the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye now.